Good morning. Intraday update on DXY. As we expected yesterday, we had a pullback on DXY from this area, which was a great place to get long Euro USD as we did. Now we are struggling on this daily bottom and weekly top. It's a daily, weekly confluence of support and resistances. I would like to see, if possible, to revisit this 1140 or perhaps even this 2360 fib. That would be a great place to see the next move up. Important thing that we have, well, it's something that didn't happen before. We cannot see it there, sorry. So we have this big double bottom and the retest of the wedge here. That's what we were expecting. But if we look on the other chart where we have the big ABC that we have been using a lot in the last period, with, you see, this 50% has reacted very nicely. The 71.8, same thing here. But the first time we had a close above the 61.8. We never could close on a daily basis above it. This time we could close above it. I would like to see an open and close to confirm that we go to the 1-to-1 level, but that's the start of something, in my opinion. So we could see some follow through. I'd like to see, as I said, a little bit deeper pullback. 92.70, 92.74 would be great. And if we look on the other chart again, 92.70, 92.74, we would be in this area with 1140%. So that would be great. And ideally, of course, would be this back test of the 2360 and bounce from it. Then we could run for the next level we have, which is still the same. We have this big trend line there, and more in details we can see on this chart. So we have the next big fib, which is the 78.6, and randomly or casually, as always, it's a double top with the past high we had here. So it will for sure struggle or give some pullback here, and we will probably play a short DXY there, short USD there, on the Euro USD or other pairs, depending on the setup we will have. Then if we break effectively above the 61.8, and if we can close above it, the next target will be 93.96 with a 1-to-1 extension of this big ABC. And then we will have this trend line area and, of course, the 1-to-72 extension together with the 38.2 fib, which is the follow-through of those two fib here, 236 and 214. So that would be a great thing. And then we have all the other options there, but we will see what we get when we arrive there and how deep can go Euro USD. Euro USD, the target for us is around 116, 116.20 for now. But as I said yesterday, I think in the chat room, we have possibilities to see even lower. So that will depend on how we get there. I mean, how will be the setup when we will arrive there. We started yesterday to see some good setups on the Euro USD to get long, and of course on the DXY. So if we look at the other chart, we have it here. So we have our indicator, the 2 stochastic, the RS6, which is a dynamic RS6 with some other tools inside. So it's giving signal, as you see, long or short signal. Same thing here. We have a dynamic exhaustion tool that is telling us when the price is exhausted. And the most important, well, one thing which is important for me is this multi-time frame here. So when we have that kind of V shape on the multi-time frame, as we had with several long time frame daily, 4 hours, and then we had the 15-minute signal here, that's when we took the trade. If we look at it a little bit closely, you see here we had this big V shape starting to get in place, and we had the green signals telling us to take a long, and that's what we did. So if we look at the DXY on the same tool, we see, of course, we had a kind of same configuration. Sorry. So yesterday we took some USDSEK short trade. We took it up there. It was a call we did yesterday, and same thing. We had some strong setup here with daily, and that's very nice when we have that kind of V shape. And sometimes we have this V shape starting from the weekly, daily up to there, and that's when we have some big move confirming. So here we are now with the USDSEK. It has paid us nicely. We made like 40, about 60 pips even on this one yesterday. Same thing on USD yen. It was a short. We called the short here, posted on Twitter. So we are now at 40 pips, about 40 pips, which is not bad. It was really extreme reading yesterday. So we will see what happens today, and we will post the next trades. Important one that I am really looking at is this SPX stock, yes, S&P 500. So this morning I am still short from there. Yesterday we called that trade at 4,445, if I remember well. Then I could reload a little bit higher. My highest entry are at 4,448.36. So in this area over there, we have posted this morning, which is very nice, this beautiful double top. So that's something which is that's something which is interesting on SPX. I reloaded some here at 6 o'clock when I came on screens of my time, of course. So I reloaded a little bit more here because I had banked some there yesterday. So I think we have a good chance to see lower, of course, on SPX. And the reason why is what we will look now, which is the dashboard with extreme levels. So my idea is that we can retest this trend line again with about 20 pips, like 0.4% on this trade, and we should break soon. Everybody is waiting for this break. We don't know when it will happen, but what we know is what we have on the dashboard. And yesterday we had some very, very extreme reading, and we still have them if we look at it. Let me show you this dashboard. So I made a dashboard only for the stock. You see we have all the stocks here, the price 6 and RS6 readings. Let me update it in case it's not. So what we see and what we saw yesterday, so you see we have some long signal here because we started a move down, but it's not important. It's on a 15-minute. But what we saw yesterday is we had some extremes reading here with 99. You see either on the slow or fast stochastic, we had some extreme reading there. Same more or less on the US 30, we have the same extreme reading. Of course, it's normal. And you see the other one that has some very extreme reading is the Aussie 200. So on the Aussie 200, it's like 97, 90. I didn't look at the chart yet, but that's what we can see here. We can see where we have the best potential to get a short. So you see those two here, which is the SPX500 and US 30. And then you have this one, which is the Aussie 200. Then we can look at the other if you like, and that's the volume index. So on the volume index, we have a very strong reading short on the 1 hour. So that's why we took this short yesterday on the S&P. And that's what I will go on doing whenever we get a short signal inside this very big pressure on the downside due to the extreme reading. Whenever we get a red signal, it's basically very easy now. Well, let's say it's easy. It's never. But like here, we have a perfect short signal. We took a short here yesterday. That was the call. And boom, we went down. Here we had another signal. We took a short. I added some short this morning, and we should see lower. So we see the other thing which is interesting, like for example here or there, we had some long signal, and when we have the long signal, it's going very slow compared to what we can see on the short signal. So that tells us that we have this pressure, and we know we have this pressure because it's really overstretched. So that's what I will look at today. Keep a close eye on the S&P. I said yesterday in the chat room and even on Twitter, this is 4,507. That's the next level we have on the S&P. If we look at it on a bigger time frame, you can see here how those green levels have been playing very nicely. You see it was a bottom here, we had bottom here, we had a top here, we called a short here when we had this top, and it went down nicely. By the way, it was more or less the same kind of setup, not very strong setup here, but a very strong setup on the stochastics reading. Sorry for the phone. So we are now here. If we would break higher, but I think we should pull back first, at least to this green level here, so at 4,430, or just on this trend line, because we see that we have been respecting this trend line lately very nicely. So we should bounce a little bit here, then we could touch that one, which will be, by the way, the same level at this green. So in this green level, we need to look what will happen if we have some long signal, or if we just pierce. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see on the price action a piercing here, not just a small move. That will tell us we are looking for a deeper move, and that's what we want to see.